afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Jacqueline Tualla. I'm the news editor of the State Hornet newspaper here at Sacramento State University. I'm on campus speaking with students today about the California State University budget cut. On January 10, 2008, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger proposed to cut $312 million from the CSU. In higher education, the cut would be $1.1 billion. I have here a student with me. Can you please tell us your name?
My name is Chris Fowler.
Chris, nice to meet you. And what's your major here at Sac State?
I am a real estate and finance major.
Wow, and how's that going for you so far?
It's going pretty well.
Great. So as you know, $1.1 billion will be cut or is proposed to be cut from the higher education out of all the state agencies. Now, if you wanted to save higher education, where else would you cut the $1.1 billion and why?
Well, looking at the numbers here, I think you should cut from the K through 12 education, because it would only result in a 2% drop. You know, if the numbers here are accurate, it would only result in a 2% drop. Higher education is too important to the professionals of today. You know, I mean, K through 12 education has been pretty consistent over the years, and we really should concentrate on the higher education so that we have better people running our country.
And how do you think higher education has affected you so far as a student here at Sacramento State?
It has made me more aware of how the world works. It's turned me into a better adult, I can honestly say.
And when do you plan on graduating?
I will be graduating December of 2009.
And what will you be doing in the near future?
The near future, my goal is to open my own real estate business eventually. But until then, just get a job and pay off those student loans, right?
Very well said. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was very nice to meet you.
Problem. Nice meeting you too. Good
Thank
luck.
you. I have another student here with me who's going to speak about the proposed budget cuts to the CSU system. Can you please tell us your full name, please?
Damian Chapman.
Great. And what's your major here at Sac State?
I'm a psychology major.
What do you look to do with that in the future?
I'm looking to go on to graduate school, hopefully earn my PhD. It's like clinical psychology.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, so if you can cut $1.1 billion from any area from the 2008-09 proposed budget, where would you cut it and why?
I would choose the health and human resources section, just because, I mean, even though 2% comes out of the child, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Education.
Right.
I think that's a very important area, actually, that needs that shouldn't have any budget cuts at all, because that's the future of the children with their education. But I think that's the most important, and the health and human resources section, I think, is a little bit better area to cut through.
Okay, so you definitely would not cut it from higher education then, is that what you're saying?
No, because they've already done plenty of budget cuts already here before, and it's affected my education here somewhat, so I don't think they should at all. It's okay. This is, if you keep on doing further cuts, in higher education, then it's not really higher education at all. It's just, to me, it just seems like it's just kind of basic. I don't know.
What are some of the concerns that you have if, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger does cut $1.1 billion from higher education?
Me and other students won't be able to get the classes that we need here, and we might have to potentially, go to other areas to get our classes, and that's just much more of a, a hassle and problems for us to deal with just in itself.
How is higher education benefiting you right now?
Well, it's shaping my future pretty much, it is my future, and that's very important to me, and hopefully, my kids won't have to go through anything like this, in their higher education also.
When are you looking to graduate from Sacramento State?
Next spring of 2009.
Well, good luck to you with that, and thank you so much for your time. It was very nice to meet you. I have Rosie here by my side. She's a student here at Sacramento State also, and she's going to be talking to us about the CSU budget cut and what that would mean to her. Can we please have your full name, Rosie?
Rosie Baines.
Great, and can we please have your major?
My major is currently undecided, but I'm thinking about history or going into government.
Okay, fabulous. Now, if you wanted to cut higher education anywhere from the state agencies in regards to the 2008-09 budget cut, where would you cut and why?
Well, I'm not that informed about the budget cut, but looking at this, I would say the resources, because because it seems like the higher things that are more important, like the K through 12 education, the higher education like our tuition, I don't believe those should be cut. Tuition's already hard enough to pay for me. I know I work while I come to school and I try and pay that off, as well as gas money, trying to eat and clothe myself. And I don't agree with making that be any higher, as it's already hard enough to pay that off. And so I would say resources or the state and consumer services, something less important that wouldn't affect us as much.
So considering tuition may increase and the other expenses that you have, you're saying that you would rather cut resources or state and consumer services as opposed to cutting from higher education or K through 12.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well,
And why would you cut K through 12? Or you would not
no,
cut
I
from
would
K
not
through
cut
12?
that,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Why would you not cut from K through 12?
I believe that's important as well. They should have funding as well. I know they've cut a lot of funding from the buses and transportation. I know when I was in K through 12, I used to have that, and for my younger cousins right now, it's harder for them to have transportations, and once in a while I will go and pick them up, and they should have that funding. And I think that's a privilege for the K through 12 students that are younger and need more attention.
Now, if 1.1 billion is cut from higher education, that could also, in addition to tuition increase, that could also mean increased class sizes, and even classes could be cut entirely. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that idea because classes are already crowded enough, and increasing the class sizes, that's just going to make it harder on the students and for the teacher to them to be able to teach to a huge amount of students, and that would mean not many students would probably pass. It's going to be hard for them to focus and to get the attention that they want from the professor.
Very well said. When are you expecting to graduate, Rosie?
In 4 years. I'm a freshman right now.
Okay, well, welcome to Sacramento State. Thank you so much for your time. And that about does it for our segment here, speaking with students on campus in regard to the California State University budget cut. My name is Jacqueline Tualla. Have a great day.